Hello and welcome everyone to day 7 of Expedition Online Season 2. I'm Jonathan Ikes. With me tonight in the commentator booth, we have the showrunner for this season, Shane Byrne. How are you doing tonight, Shane?
Good, thanks for having me.
It has been a phenomenal season. Day 6, we saw another twist in the game as both parties would end up going to Crossroads, but not before they would fight for an interesting exemption, which Team Ethan would end up winning.
We sent all of the explorers back to one camp so they could all chat with each other regardless of what party they were on. And Team Ethan had a decision. They could either choose to keep their exemption and they do not vote at Crossroads, or they could vote, but they are now open to be voted for as well. However, that decision was private and not made until they got to the voting booth, which led to some interesting dynamics.
Really left kind of Jared and Justin kind of exposed for the vote. They're really relying on the former Team Janet to pull through, and they do in a major way, as we see two advantages being played by new Team Ethan players on the new Team Janet players, but all former Janet players. Daniel plays the shortcut on Jared, allowing Jared to just pick up and leave Crossroads, which upon initial look looks like Justin is just left hung out to dry. But last minute, Kyle comes through and decides to play the compass on Justin, and that just left former Team Ethan just absolutely up Shit's Creek without a paddle.
Oh, exactly. And Garrett on Team Janet, but original Team Ethan, he played his compass as well.
Right.
Tried to make a move, tried to suss out where Kyle was putting votes and all them, but it was a misfire.
Yeah, absolutely. And throws a stray vote as well, which, would have played in had Kyle given up his exemption, which Kyle did not end up doing. Kyle ended up keeping it, so only votes cast for Hannah, unfortunately. Eliminated from the game. She gave it a good run, and I mean, if you're going to go, that's the kind of crossroads you want to go out on, in a way, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. 3 advantages and a twist.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's not much you could have done there.
You can never get too comfortable on Expedition Online, can you?
Never. We always have twists up our sleeve, and tonight maybe not as many, but they better be paying attention. Always things popping up.
My God, tonight was so epic. I am so proud of my team. I feel like we just crushed it.
For the vote, I have no idea what's going on, so I just write no vote. Figure I'll live to see another day. I've at least saved Jared. I think we're okay. The votes are cast, and then all of a sudden, Garrett goes, all right, I'm going to play my compass. He plays it for Gideon, which is totally fine with me. Gideon ain't getting any votes, so Garrett, who I think is probably the strongest player on the other side, burns his compass for no reason.
I was close. I was close on the play. The read was right in terms of what they were going to do, but dang, I was so close.
And then
I just wanted to it would have been... Just imagine, just picture Kyle plays the idol for Justin, and he says, I'm ready for the Ethans to cannibalize each other. And my one vote for Kyle would have counted. Dude, I was so excited. Oh, that would have been so good. Oh, my God.
Played my compass on Justin to keep the original Janets all alive.
Kyle playing the compass for Justin. He's so secretive about his moves, but that was so epic and so good for us.
Kyle masterfully played his compass for the second time this season, and it's a little off-putting that I had no idea he had a compass. I understand why he would want to keep it secret, of course, but at the same time, I find it weird that it didn't come up in conversations even for the strategizing for today's vote.
Well, now I'm playing on the back foot. I'm in Royal Alliance, but our alliance at least has way more fluid. There's no actual secure group in this alliance, and it's just 5 random people bound by complete betrayal. So we have a chance to maybe turn this around, but we need Justin and Ryan.
In terms of where I stand, I definitely align more with the new Team Ethan, which includes 4 original Team Janet members. And that's because I wasn't really close with any of my original party members aside from maybe Gideon. And we all saw how that turned out. That's why during Crossroads tonight, I played a front of not wanting to vote at all, but I voted for Hannah. Regarding Gideon, I thought my relationship with him was broken after last night's Crossroads, but apparently not. He pulled me into a 1v1 room and gifted me an heirloom, which works as a compass but cannot be played on anyone but myself. So that's interesting.
I'm praying that we have the merge on Thursday, because if not, I'm going to be in serious trouble. Chantel is totally on to me. I think Gabe still has some trust in me. And Garrett and Gideon, I just don't have connections with them. So I'm glad that Justin's still safe and I still haven't had to burn him somehow. So I live to see another day.
Oh my god. Oh my. People have said that I look young for my age. This game is going to age me 30 more years.
Today's challenge is called Full of Hot Air. Before the challenge begins, your party will need to determine which order you will compete in. One explorer at a time, you will blow your ping pong ball, only using your breath, from the first can to the third can. It may not stop on that middle can. If it stops on the middle can, you got to take it back to the first can and start again. Once you have gotten all 3 ping pong balls from the first can to the third can, then it will be time for the next explorer on your party to go. If your party is the first to complete the entire series, then your party wins exemption.
All right, explorers, welcome to the challenge. We have 11 explorers remaining in the game. Hannah was voted out at the last Crossroads. And today we have a fun challenge. This is one of my favorites. Looks like you already know what it is, and you've been practicing for the last hour. It's called Full of Hot Air. But before we get to the challenge, how about if I congratulate you all for making the rendezvous?
There we go.
Yeah, some surprise faces.
Looks like some people know what the rendezvous is, but in case you don't, the rendezvous is where Team Janet and Team Ethan meet on the expedition and become one party. So instead of playing for team exemption tonight, you will be playing for individual exemption in Crossroads tonight.
Down to an
because it will not be a relay. You will be competing against each other. We have 3 rounds of the Full of Hot Air challenge. All 11 explorers will be going at the same time in the first challenge. The first 6 explorers to finish will move on to the second round, and the 5 explorers that are remaining, I don't know what Justin's doing, but you guys know how distracted I get. The 5 explorers will be eliminated from the challenge. The second round will have 6 explorers. The first 3 to finish will go to the final round. And in the final round, the first explorer to finish will have exemption tonight. Okay. After the first round, we'll reset, and you'll have to do another 3. And for the finals, we'll reset, and you'll do another 3.
As much as they may be a surprise, I don't think they're not prepared.
Yup, exactly.
All right. We'll go. I'll count you down, and then I'll say go.
Yeah, and these relays
3,
are always fun.
2,
Interesting to see who
1,
moves on.
go.
Yeah. So, here we go. Everyone's off.
Ryan already has 1 ball.
Yeah. Leg could come into play a little bit here. Chantel seems down a little bit of leg, but those are the disadvantages sometimes that happen in Expedition Online. Things that aren't necessarily your fault, but internet speed can come into play, which we've seen before.
Yes.
Jared has 2 now. A few people still on their first ball. Looks
Rob
like Rob
has all
completed.
3.
Rob will be going on to the next round.
Rob has completed.
Moving on to round
Finished.
2.
Kyle looks like he has completed as well, so Kyle will be moving on.
Done.
Oh, Chantel
Gideon is done.
Gideon's.
And Gideon.
All right, we have
that's 4.
Kyle, Rob, Chantel, and Gideon
2 more.
are finished.
Just waiting on 2 more.
2 more.
Garrett looks like he's on his
Ryan
last
is finished.
one. He seems to be taking
We have one more
slow and
spot.
steady approach, though.
Yeah, taking his time, making sure. Not a bad strategy, although you get more chances if you speed it up a little bit.
And
but-
Justin has got that final spot.
Oh, Justin picks up the final spot, so...
Kyle, Rob, Chantel, Gideon, Ryan, and Justin move on to the next round.
Good job, guys.
It's got to feel good about that.
If our other 5 explorers,
What
if
will
you
be
could turn your
interesting,
camera off
though,
and make
is
it
to
easier
see
for us.
If somebody like Daniel, who isn't moving on, will be looking, because there's always advantages in play.
All right, let's make sure we got everybody on the reset.
A while ago.
Absolutely, yeah. We saw the clues come out.
And-
I think almost everybody in the game so far has picked up on
The first 3 explorers to finish this round will move to the finals. I'll count you
So
down.
it's always interesting in these
3,
situations.
2,
is immunity
1,
important
go.
for you, or do you want to, give it up and now you have some extra time to look?
Yeah, absolutely. Could have played into someone like Daniel's mind, who is going into tonight with, at least as far as the original parties are concerned, the majority, to maybe go out a little bit early, get this extra, what's going to be an extra 5, potentially 10, 15 minutes that the other party members aren't going to have. So that compass could be huge tonight too, with steal votes out there, legacy advantages, compasses. Oh my! So
Yeah, the past few rounds, advantages just pop up everywhere. We've seen lots of them, so.
Yep. Oh, looks like Ryan has completed
Fin-
here. Chantel is also finished. That was a close finish.
Chantel's finished. We have one more
Good job,
spot.
Chantel.
So one more spot.
And Justin is finished.
Has completed. As we,
Wow.
Our final of
Kyle
Chantel,
and
Ryan, and
Gideon
Justin
eliminated.
has been set. So if we get the other 3 explorers to please turn your camera off.
Here we go. Final round.
Yeah.
Reset for these
Two
3.
original Ethans, one original Janet.
And this is the
and
final
Justin
round.
got
So the
votes
first
against
explorer
them
to
last
finish in the
time.
final round will win exemption at tonight's Crossroads.
I say if there's ever anyone who's in the middle.
I'm going to count you
of the
down
parties,
in
it's
3, 2,
Oh, definitely
1,
Ryan.
go.
Yeah.
Because he actually gave up his exemption and voted against Hannah.
Ryan's flying through this. He had his first 2 balls and his first 2 blows there. Struggling now in the third one. Chantel's caught up. This is a tight match.
Yeah, this is going to be tight.
Justin's got 1.
Yeah. Justin might have. Oh, Justin was
sorry.
close.
I misread Chantel. Chantel's only doesn't have any yet. But Justin's close.
This is going to be a
Ryan loses
race
his
to the
ball.
finish.
Yeah, this could end at any moment. Either one of these guys can pull it off.
And especially in a situation like this, there's the stress and pressure, and you can't be finishing with those
Done.
balls.
Oh, Ryan
And
picks
it
has
it
looks
up.
one
like Ryan
exemption.
has
Nice.
it.
Nice shot, Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, great point.
Thank you so much.
You needed the boys. And
Well done, Ryan.
Good job, Ryan.
Thank you, guys. Good job,
Great
guys.
job, Ryan. And this is interesting because
Ryan.
Ryan has the legacy advantage, so now he doesn't need that tonight.
Right, able to carry.
All right, Ryan has 1 exemption. He is exempt from tonight's vote. You will be all going back to the rendezvous camp together, and we will see you at 9:40 tonight. So you have a little bit of extra time back at camp. Everybody is obviously going to Crossroads tonight.
Guys, we made the merge.
It happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Proud of us.
Yeah, I'm so proud.
I actually didn't expect to get this far, low key.
This is like day 0 all over again.
I know, no one knows what to do. Kyle!
What's going on, brother?
Oh my god! I don't even know how to. I was so shocked last night or 2 nights ago. That was amazing.
Yeah, I figured we got to do something to stick together. We got to keep the numbers. So I was like,
Oh my! Some people. I hadn't gotten even to talk to you that night, so I was hoping because I had talked to I think Maddie, and I told her I'm on board with you guys. Just give me the name, and she had said Hannah, so I was like, okay, perfect. And then I hadn't spoken to you. Daniel was like, I'll probably do it, but I'm not 100% yet, just because he doesn't know if he wants to risk his vote. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. I'm not gonna be mad if you don't want to risk yourself after you won.
Well, like I said,
But
my thing was just
holy
playing
shit.
it properly, right? So that's why I was kind of
Yeah.
like, I wanted to make it seem like I was going to vote, so that if one of them were to vote, they would waste it on me.
Yeah.
And
Which is weird because they did.
Yeah, and I was actually hoping that somebody would play a compass, because I'm like, even if they played the compass the right way, say they played on Hannah, okay, whatever, Hannah's safe, but then one of the other four is going home anyway, so like, it didn't matter.
That was perfect that you didn't even tell me the whole plan too with Justin, because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And then Justin comes back. I was like, oh my God. I just feel like I can breathe. I was so scared to go back to Crossroads with that group. I was just like, they were mad. They were not happy.
Yeah, what was it like when you got back to camp?
Honestly, it was kind of bullshit. Like, I like Chantel, but she was just like, Jared, you didn't need to do that. We would have voted Justin and blah, 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 blah. But then they had their own secret plan. So it's like, why are you allowed to strategize just because you're at the top? Like, it's the attitude for me. Like, all of them have this. And then Garrett, when we're practicing today, he's just sitting there hanging out, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Like, maybe you should try. So, you know what? I have no desire to work with those people. Like, they really piss me off.
We're not part of their game, because the thing is, this is what that's the beauty of their four, which is what's frustrating, that we kind of have to lose a couple votes for anything to happen, because the way that they're doing it, they're going to take their majority to whatever it is, 6 or 7. Those 4 are going to stay strong. Kyle's goal is to win out when it gets to 4. And if Kyle doesn't win, then they'll vote Kyle out as the leader. And those 3 feel confident in beating each other at the end.
But like, you and Maddie are the people I trust the most in this game.
Yeah, I mean, we have the numbers. We just need to make sure we dodge a compass.
Yes.
Because there was that other clue posted last night. I don't know who got it. Once again, I found a compass, but wasn't in time, so I don't actually get the compass. So a lot of frustrating things happening.
And your girl found one. I just found one. And I'm so freaking excited. Like, this is a goal. This was the biggest goal. And I'm so happy I found one. I cannot wait to use it for something great. But I'm just so freaking happy. And I'm so excited. And like, I can't believe I found the compass.
We have to hope that probably Gideon found it. No, I told you all last time, and I definitely want to play it this time. I knew that they were going to like protect Justin. For me personally, it doesn't matter if they're voting for me or one of my people. I need the majority. So it doesn't really matter if I go out now or early. You know what I mean? So it wasn't about saving me. It was about trying to somehow secure a majority, because we were going to lose it off that vote. And we did lose it off that vote. You know, now we're banking on Justin and Ryan to, you know, and we didn't want to bank on Justin, right? And so now we're banking on both of them.
We need to talk to them.
Which ones?
Again. The 2 of them side by side, or one at a time.
We could be aggressive about it if we like can get into a room and just call them.
Though.
Damn. Yeah, you're probably right, because that'll put our names out.
Here's the thing. I want to get rid of Garrett and Gideon because I just like them the least, but they are more savvy. So I feel like Gabe or Chantel is probably a safer vote, but I mean, I like them more. But at this point, like, I'm with you guys, so whatever the group wants to do.
That's kind of my thought. All I care about is trying to make sure we get one of them out. I don't care who it is. So for me, it's just whoever's least likely to play a compass.
Yeah, I don't think those 2 have one, but I really want Gideon and Garrett out because I just have no desire to work with them. So
yeah, well, I mean, they will be sooner rather than later, right? Whether it's today or tomorrow.
And like sneakiness, I don't know. Like, they're all. I mean, I've been with them, so I have a lot of intel about them.
Ryan is like the only person, but I don't know if he's willing to flip.
Like I said, his whole game is playing the majority. Even the vibe I got from talking to him, he was staying closed, but like there was a hint of, the only reason why I'm not going to you all is because we'd be in a minority, right? Like, if he flips just him, there's no point in him just flipping on his own, right? Yeah. So he needs to flip with Justin, because I don't think Jared's gonna flip. So he needs to flip with Justin.
Jared's not flipping. He's like, I'm over here, and I'm willing not to write your name down because you saved me last time. And I know that's an emotional play, but I'm not going to do it. I'm like, okay.
Thanks, Jared. Right? Are you feeling more closer to the Janet group than trying to work with us then? Or what are you feeling right now? Where's your head at?
I'm honestly kind of in the middle. Like, when I was on their side, I didn't really feel equal with them. I've just been away from the original game for so long that I don't know really where I am now.
Yeah, I mean, if I gotta be honest with you, our Team Ethan group is hanging on by a thread in terms of, like, you know, it's not like a solid block that you're on the outs, if that's what you were feeling because you haven't been with us for a while. Because you got to remember, we voted out Gabe, we left Gideon out of a vote, and all this other stuff that's happened. And I don't know. I just think that in my opinion, I don't think it's like as a solid of a 4 as the Kyle, Rob, and Daniel Maddie group is, where it's like they have not gone against each other once, that 4, and I don't think they're about to go against each other for a while, in my opinion. So yeah, if we can somehow swing the numbers to get 6, I'm thinking it would be like you, me, Gideon, Chantel, Gabe, and I'm thinking Justin might be a poll.
They didn't give me a name yet. They haven't given me a name. I don't know if they're gonna give me a correct name to begin with and almost test me. But at this point, I feel like if they play the idol, they might trust me, or whatever it's called, the compass.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously the game's in your hands. What I will say is you need to talk to Ryan, because I talked to him and I said I think we can get 6. It would be Gabe, me, Chantel, Gideon, Ryan, and you. And he's like, wait, I thought Justin was on the outs. I was like, he's on the outs, but like, you know how it is, kind of thing. And so if you two talk to each other, and honestly, if you two are on the same page, whether or not you're staying with the Kyle group or the Gabe group in my group or whatever, like that's your best move anyways, is to be kind of with Ryan anyways.
This is the only thing I'm going to say. Regardless of which way I go tonight, I'm almost going to try and do whatever I can. I don't want you or Gabe to be voted out. I'm not saying that they're going to listen to me. I'm not saying they're going to listen to me, but I'm going to basically start pitching to them. I've already told them that you two definitely were looking for the compass last night, because I don't want them to put the votes on you two.
Right.
You're the two that I trust the most from our side, like from our swap tribe.
For you, as long as you're on the same page with Ryan, even if you vote one of us out, you two could always flip back next vote and we'd still have a majority.
Yeah,
so,
I gotta see if I can talk to him. But
he's your key in this game, man.
Hey. So I feel like the two of us are kind of in the middle of this whole game right now. Like, obviously, I don't trust the 4 people that I just came from because they all voted for me. But at the same time, like, I feel like we're the middle right now. Do you like? I know they still trust you a little bit. So I just want to pitch to you that I was just gonna say, do you want, like, I feel like we're in the middle. As long as we keep voting together, no matter what happens, I feel like we have people on both sides. Like, I think your original group might still give you some information. My original will give me information, but also I think they're both gonna give us other information. Does that make sense? Like, I think both sides are going to give us both a little bit of information. Because I don't think I'm on the top. I don't think I'm on the top of either of those sides, but I think both of them right now are thinking both of our votes are the ones they can swing over.
I think that because we've been away from our original team for so long, we can sway either way, and they know that. So they're not going to with us because there's a possibility we might vote alongside them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I agree with you. We should vote.
Basically, I'm going to come to you before every vote, and I'm going to see where your head's at, because you're, I think, the number one person right now that I think we can get each other really far in this game, basically.
Yeah, so if your name ever comes up, I'll let you know, and I would appreciate it if you...
I will do 100%. 100%.
Okay,
perfect.
Awesome.
All right. So right now, though, which way are you leaning? Are you leaning towards Daniel side?
Here's the thing. I want Garrett and Gideon out. Those are my number 1 and 2 priorities, because I don't know if they talked to me, but they gave me nothing. They gave me absolutely nothing to do with. They didn't strategize with me. They didn't even try. And honestly, Garrett really pissed me off when we're all practicing and he's in the freaking lazy boy. Like,
just chilling out. Like, I'm safe regardless what happens.
I hate that. Yeah. That's just bad gameplay. Like, it just makes me dislike you. Like, I don't like you. And he's won a Survivor game like this before.
Yeah, he's definitely. The only thing I'm worried about with him is he might have that compass, because I know he was looking for it.
So
he didn't tell me if he found it. He asked me if I found it. He didn't tell me if he. Rob.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
We're talking about the compass from last night.
Oh, I was just saying. So here's what I'm thinking. Right, we cannot split votes tonight because it's not enough for majority. I do believe, like, they know, like, Ryan voted with you guys, which is good. I still don't trust any of them as much as you guys, and especially after last night, you guys sealed the deal. Like Justin and I are.
I was gonna say I was voted out. I was attempted to be voted out. I'm not trusting any of them.
No. So I think we need to at least take out one, and then for the next round we could even explore if we really feel good about Ryan. I think Chantel would go with us too, but for this first one, we need to put all of our votes on one person, and we need to make sure it's someone who doesn't have a compass or would have a compass played for them.
So Justin was saying maybe it'd be helpful for him to go around and tell them names that we're potentially throwing out, so that we can kind of target where they put the idol potentially. But I don't know if that's going to be helpful.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of hard because it's like in between you and I, at some point, I don't want to get too down the line, but we're all going to have to figure out who among us is, and I'll tell you who I think that is, but I'm just saying.
Who do you think has the highest threat level? Because I have two people whose names are in my head who I'm like, oh, these are big threats right now.
On our side.
On our side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's Kyle.
To me, Kyle for sure. I mean, 2 idol plays, successful.
My thing is none of us will beat him at the end sitting next to him.
Because also he's got the cool life story.
Yeah.
He's a chill enough guy. No one really actively dislikes him. He's been good at the game so far.
Yep.
He's carried the mantle as our party leader, and he made it through to merge, where usually if you're the leader, you get ousted at the first crossroads.
So he's got a hell of a pitch.
A hell of a resume already. Yeah.
I know that tonight we should probably do that, get out a number on the other side. Let's just keep it simple. But I just wanted to put on your radar that I am thinking about this long term.
Because we can't just sit back and not make moves of our own and then get carried to the finals. Right.
It's really just unrealistic on my end for all of us to stay together until the end and then pick each other off, because there's going to be a pecking order and who knows where I lie on that. So I don't want to get there. I'd rather get the power into our hands.
Yeah. Well, for my personal quote unquote pecking order, my final 3 is you and Daniel.
Yeah.
But I also have to say I'm a little worried about Daniel's threat level too. And this is maybe even further, way too far down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's also to think about Gideon and Gabe, who both were voted out of this game and are still in this game, and that's something to be added too. So
and Ryan, who was swap screwed, but managed to find a way to be at the top of his original tribe on our party.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, at this point, I just want to make sure that we survive, but also I agree with you that you and I need to start taking aggressive moves.
I just want to put it on our radar that it's something that we need to start thinking about. And I haven't told anyone this yet, but I have the compass.
Oh, great. That's the Tuesday night compass?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Lips are sealed.
So I'm probably not going to tell anyone else, maybe Daniel, but I just want to keep it really under wraps in case votes are directed at me. But I want to use it for us 3. So if there's a way that we can use it, let's use it.
And shadiness, so I'm pretty sure votes are coming my way again, which is no good for me.
So I haven't heard any votes coming from the other team, and I've been trying to be very cagey about, I've been hearing that all these advantages and compasses are out there, but none of my so-called allies are telling me if they have one or if they whatever, to try and be look at me, I'm potentially on the bottom, so you could maybe try and flip, but they have not bitten the bait. If Ryan has it, I mean, he's got exemption tonight anyway. The only thing is
but I mean, he's been meeting up with a lot of people from the other side, so
and part of me was wondering, yeah, he could easily flip, which is a little scary.
Yeah.
But I worry that like if he does, then is he going to be at the bottom of this new alliance, and does he know that? Like, is the timing there for him?
That's the 4 from the other side that were on the swap.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
people are like this.
Yeah.
They're like right now. I feel like they're the Great Wall of China, and I feel like, and I personally feel no offense to the Asian people in the room. Okay, I just feel like they're so strong
That's
that
really funny.
I can't even get in.
You're no Mongolian.
I don't know what to do.
See, that's the thing. The longer we wait, the less of us there will be, and like the less of us that there is, the less chance that we'll be able to break them apart.
What name do you guys want to go with?
Well, obviously, I can't go for Kyle. I feel like he's like the ringleader of their little foursome. I don't know. So it has to be one of these three: Maddie, Rob, or Daniel.
We gotta kick his legs out from underneath them.
We gotta go for what do you call it? We gotta give them the kryptonite. Like honestly. No, it's true. We have to. Because if we don't do it now, the next vote is going to be a tie.
Okay, so obviously we don't go Kyle because Kyle
we can.
is the one that's gonna have.
We don't know what he has. I just want to know who is Kyle's right hand.
Good question.
Kyle's. If I had to guess from my original time over there, I would say Daniel, but also I don't think I had much information, so that could be completely off.
Ryan, can I ask you?
Okay.
So, in your like experience, while like on their party, who would you say like is like the person who like keeps all of them together besides Kyle? Or are they all just like umbrellaed underneath him?
I think most of them are umbrellaed underneath him, but if there is one person who like takes lead, maybe Daniel. But I think Kyle is like the father figure, really.
And I feel like all of us are on the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try.
That's my only.
I'm gonna try and get a name from them, like who they're going. I just want to try and get a name at least, so if someone has a compass, we know who's. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to start deciding on a name. That's what I was actually thinking as well.
Like an alliance name?
No, like literally a name for who we're gonna vote tonight.
Yeah. You guys want to go in the field and see if we can get Jared and Maddie?
Yeah, but let's real quick right now. Let's try to just throw any name out there that we can have be a default in case one of them takes our spot in the field.
I feel like Gabe is a good option.
Yeah, I think Gabe is a good vote because I don't see them playing a compass on him, and like I've been personally throwing out like Garrett and Gideon's name. So
yeah, so
if they are going back with info, they're going to be telling them to play it on each other.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Let's do Gabe, but tell them like Garrett, and then we can even throw like
a couple Garrett votes out,
1 or 2 Garrett votes out if we.
So
if we want to, so that like if they play a compass, maybe if like 1 or 2 of them vote Garrett too, that still is a majority.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I was just trying to see like what you're feeling about like everything being split between like the two parties. Well, not parties anymore, since like it's a rendezvous, but
yeah. In terms of personal standing, I'm not really sure where I fit in because obviously I'm not as closely connected with the 4 who have been together for the entire game, and I've just been away from the original team Ethan for so long, so I'm kind of just floating. So how about you? What are you feeling? What are your thoughts?
I don't know, because like we said in the beginning, like I felt like more like closer to you, and then obviously like you went to another side, and then I was also gone. So I don't know if like that still stands for you.
Yeah, no, I feel pretty close. Like in terms of people on the original team Ethan, I'm like on pretty good terms with. I would say you're like near the top of the list. And Garrett, I just haven't really talked to that much. Chantel, I've talked a little bit. But I think in terms of like relationships, I feel like we still have a good one.
Mm-hmm. Even though you voted me out. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I'm sorry. Sorry about
No,
that.
I'm kidding. I'll try. But are you comfortable with trying to take out like Rob or Daniel?
I think that for tonight we should vote alongside whichever side has more people, and that way we're not part of the minority in the end. So if it end up being Rob or Daniel, then I'm okay with it. But I think on their side, I heard like Barrett or Chantel. So I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like it's going to be a very, very close vote tonight. And Gabe, do you want to explain?
Okay, yeah. So what I'm thinking is that the four of them, their play right now is that they can stick together, and the fact that they're so strong together as four, I feel like it's tempting for like any one of us to join them and vote against our side. But if we do that, that only makes them stronger in the end. So we have to cut them off now before they have the chance to get even stronger, because they'll try to use our our nervousness and like our desire to like stay in the game against us by bringing us in now and then taking us out later just to preserve themselves. So I think if we have to vote someone out, it would have to be Rob. And then afterwards, we can try to flesh out the idol by voting out Kyle. Oops. And then if he does have the idol,
I feel because he feels so nervous. I feel like he might play his idol tonight, but he's not our target.
So, yeah, I feel like it'll be kind of a waste to try to vote him out tonight, just because he knows he's a big target.
Based on what I've seen back at camp with them, the four of them are incredibly tight. And even though I was there and Gideon were there, we were both on the outside like the entire time. And there was like a definite hierarchy with the four of them, like so close knit. So that's why if they make it far, they're going to get stronger and stronger. So I'm okay with voting Rob.
Well, as long as you and Justin, because we technically need both you all, I think, for the swing, right? Right?
Yeah.
We need Justin, right?
10 minutes.
Yeah, so we need to pull Justin somehow. But to be fair, him talking with them this long is probably good because he's gotten probably a name at this point, which is good.
Basically, do either of you have this compass?
No. Are they both coming my way?
No. Not right now. According to them, no. They're deciding between right now David, Chantel, and Gideon. They said Garrett's the most likely to have it. They're not going to put it on Garrett. That's what they're telling me right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get it definitely off of Gabe. My goal is to put it, at least, so regardless of what happens, my goal is to not have it on either of you two.
Right.
I don't know how much they're going to take whatever I say into account. They've told me, though, not Garrett. That's what they've told me. I don't know how truthful that is.
Right. We'll just play it and see what happens, I guess. But we'll just let you know that we decided between the two names that we're going to do Rob. Is that good with you?
I'm just writing it down.
Our thought is we want to dodge a compass. We want to, we just need to get through his vote. So we were thinking Gabe.
I don't think he has it. I really don't think he has it.
I don't think he has it. I'm not convinced they play it for him. I don't know. I mean, they already voted the guy out once, so that's...
Yeah. I really want to get out Garrett. I just don't know how we do it without knowing where the compass is.
We do it by having him burn his compass on himself tonight and then getting him out tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think...
I'm fine with that, I guess.
I mean, if that's safe. I like Gabe, and he was one of the few. I know I have to not play emotionally because I want Garrett and Gideon out. At this point,
I don't like them. I don't want to work with either of them ever.
I do too, but both of them have already found a compass.
Right.
Yeah. And Garrett played one for Gideon, so he would do it again.
Yeah, I mean, he might play for someone else, but at some point, we have to choose somebody. So our thought was we gotta tell them, maybe tell them Garrett, but vote for Gabe. So if Chantel and Gabe want to come over, tell them Garrett, and then so that like if they are really just going back with our information, then they'll tell Garrett that he played on himself.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, we need to figure out how to talk to Justin and Ryan. Like they're just
yeah.
hanging out
Why
there.
are they staying in there?
Honestly, because I think it's just because they're awkward and don't know how to get out of it. But it still is a little concerning to me that.
Yeah,
like,
honestly though, they vote for Justin every time. I don't think I really don't see it.
I don't.
Especially after you guys
Oh,
like
Justin
talked about
went
it.
into the outpost. Okay, he left.
All right, cool. So he's with our people.
All right. So, are we thinking Gabe?
I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with Gabe.
Yeah.
I mean, if
I
that's
think
the
that
call,
makes the most sense.
Yeah. And then I know that we'd been toying around with the idea of do we potentially tell Ryan a different name? Do we want to do that? And if so,
I'm just worried that
what's
he's
even the
going to
other
hold a
name?
grudge.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell him a different name, but like,
I think we could tell him at like 9:39, so he doesn't have time to go back.
yeah. I mean, I'd rather obviously get Garrett out, but understand the compass thing. So Gabe is fine with me.
So tell Ryan what, Garrett?
I feel like we.
Well,
I don't know if I feel comfortable giving him a wrong name just because I'm really. I mean, you guys, I haven't talked to him really at all. You guys know him more. And he does seem level-headed, but I'm just worried he's going to be like, well, clearly they don't trust me, so.
So, yeah.
well,
I mean, here's
also,
the thing.
like, if he's not seeking us out to find out this information, like, why would we give him the name if anything, if he's not even, like, trying to talk to any of us, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to be straight with you. I think it's going to be. They're telling me either. They're definitely telling me not you. That's what they're telling me. I'm worried it's Gabe. That's my worry.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is or if it's Chantel. I don't think it's you or Gideon. Because
we played idols.
Because, I think their mentality is go for a safe vote.
Yeah. That makes sense.
If it's Gabe, I might just go and tell them that Gabe just told me he has a compass, don't vote for him.
All right, welcome to the rendezvous, and welcome to your first crossroads after the rendezvous. You are a very entertaining group, I'll give you that. 3 advantages played at the last crossroads. Justin, did you have a heart rate monitor on? And how did it feel when Kyle played the compass for you?
God. I had to change my pants after that. That was intense. I had no idea it was coming too. So when Jared left, I was pretty convinced like that was it because like it was clear it was me versus Jared at that point, and then he left the whole thing, so I was like, well, that's done for me. That coming blew me out of the water.
Well, Jared, on any other night, playing the shortcut might be the headline, but it did allow you to leave Crossroads before the votes were cast. You were safe. Is it safe to say that you didn't feel safe, which is why you left? And if that's the case, how does it feel to make the rendezvous?
It was hard to say. I was definitely on the bottom at New Janet, and while some people put in work to make me feel comfortable, others did not. And so having some make you feel comfortable and some don't does not equal full comfort. I should have been feeling 100% comfortable. So I'm just kind of bummed I left because I feel like I was the person who leaves the party early before like something exciting happens. So I was really shocked that Justin came back, and I'm sorry, Justin. I feel like I kind of left you to the wolves, but it was a self-preservation move. I fully was expecting that they were going to vote for Justin and that you'd be going home.
Kyle, you had a choice, exemption or vote. Did that play into your decision to play the compass?
Yes and no. Really, once I knew that Jared wasn't there, seemed pretty straightforward that they were going to vote for Justin unless they were really cracked inside their own side. So it just seemed like an easy move to do, just to force them to do something. So I thought it was pretty straightforward from my angle.
Gideon, you also had a compass played for you. Was that a surprise?
I understood the thought process. But yeah, it's always surprising to have somebody else play for you because that's a huge move of one, trust in you, and two, it's a shot in the dark because we know one of us was gonna go home. He guessed me. He guessed wrong. It's just how it went. But afterwards, obviously, I thanked Garrett because it made sense in a way because I had been targeted by them, but they went Hannah, which was a good move on their part.
Garrett, talk to me about the compass move. Was that a bold move on your part? Any regrets?
No regrets. I mean, they get hidden all the time, so I figured if I played it, I had 5 or 4 people back at the tribe that had a chance of finding the next one. So I felt confident that we might be able to find the next one. But no, I feel okay about the play. And yeah, Gideon's right. The reason why I picked him over anyone else was because he's been targeted before. And so I felt like the 4 of them that were possibly voting that night were going to vote for Gideon because they've already burned him twice now. And so I didn't think that they had any connection to him. But again, like Gideon said, they made the right call by picking someone that I would have never thought of to play the idol.
Ryan, you were the last Ethan standing, or last original Ethan standing on your swap party. Is the rendezvous new life for your game?
It absolutely is new life. I feel like having gone through the swap, I was sort of at the bottom on both teams. Even coming back now, it's so weird seeing friends and faces I haven't seen for the majority of the game. So this has definitely messed up my own standing. But I'm glad to have met new people and formed new relationships and even revived some. So it's definitely made my life interesting. That's for sure.
Gabe, are we in Crossroads until you finish all those drinks? Is that what's going on here?
We might be here all night if you wait for me to finish all of these.
Maddie, now that the rendezvous is here, is it a game changed or is it just another day?
The game has definitely changed. Obviously now it's an individual game and you really have to think about what's best for yourself. So yes, it's good that you created these relationships along the way, but at the end of the day, you have to think about what gets you further ahead in the game. So it's totally flipped everything on its head.
Chantal, do you like to hear that?
Yes, of course. It is new life, a fresh start, hopefully for everybody.
Chantal, do you feel like, this is the second day in as many game days that we have had you all together during strategy time. Do you feel like tonight was just a repeat of the last game day, or did you feel like it was different?
Definitely different, because again, it's an individual game and everybody has to do what's best for their game rather than thinking in a team environment type of thing. So definitely has changed a lot.
Are the party lines still in play, or do you feel like we might have a little bit different gameplay going forward?
I think the party lines are definitely a factor for sure, but I do think that we've been seeing some blurring of those lines, especially with the swap that we had, and folks fighting for survival on their respective new teams, and then of course with everything that's occurred in the past couple Crossroads, it seems like we're seeing some folks being a little bit more flexible with the tribal lines.
Daniel, this question is for you. How did you approach your conversations tonight?
I said at the beginning I wanted to hear everybody out. I didn't quite get a chance to talk to everybody, but I do feel like I got a chance to talk to a bunch of folks. And so, you just go in, you hear out what everybody has to say, and then you go from there, right? I don't think it does anybody any good if, the second the challenge ends, I already decide who I'm going to vote for, and, I just sit on my hands for an hour and a half.
Gabe, I want you to tell me both your position in the game at this point and also the significance of your position to those cans.
So first off, the easier question is I just like it. It looks cool on the frame, so that's why I put him there. But I guess my significance in this game right now is I'm trying to make a lot more like strategies than I was in the past, and it's like the longer I play, the more I'm able to do that just by like being able to read everyone. And I think I'm getting better at it, but I know for sure that I still can't exactly make plays and be confident with what I decide to do. At this point, it's still just me trying to like learn how best to preserve myself and keep myself going in the game. But I do want to thank like the mods and you and everyone who like put this game together, because you guys for sure know how to make a really interesting game.
I will say for sure there are a lot of people working behind the scenes on this game, people who we should thank. So I'm just the host. I'm just here to talk to you guys and make your life miserable. But there's so many other people that are behind the scenes making this happen. Gideon, do you feel like after a week of gameplay, do you have enough time? I mean, going off of what Gabe just said, do you feel like you've had enough time to get a good read on people?
Yes and no. I mean, it's pretty easy for one to see just from how the rooms have moved, just to see who's still together and who's not. I've also noticed that some people are being in rooms that I wouldn't expect them to be in rooms to be in, talking to people that I wouldn't think they'd talk to. So that's been promising. But yeah, it's you can tell some people are still sticking together, but you can also tell some people maybe aren't anymore.
That's an interesting point. Maddie, do you feel like you have to worry about who you're seen talking to?
Yeah, all the time. And I'm also constantly monitoring who's in what room talking to each other. I think it's just part of this game is to realize like who's spending their most time with each other. And that kind of like makes everyone a little paranoid too. So it's definitely a consideration.
Jared, how long were you guys together back at the camp before people started breaking off?
Kind of had that awkward, like no one wanted to go, and we did have some late chatting, and then it was kind of just full sprint. People talking to each other, people who hadn't seen each other in a while, just connecting, talking to new people, and it was really all over the place.
Justin, how do you balance making sure you're talking to your people and then also making sure that you're talking to not your people?
Well, I don't know who my people are, so I guess I just talk to everyone and hope they're all my people.
All right, Rob, with the room set up with limits, how do you get enough people to get in on a vote?
You have to trust that the people are telling you who they are intending, and it's a lot of, all right, you're in one room and then you see someone else is open in another room, and then you try and jump in before someone else takes that coveted spot. Otherwise you're just locked out. So it's a lot of just a little game of telephone that you're hoping doesn't get too broken down across the way.
Kyle, game changed for you at the rendezvous?
I don't know if it necessarily changed. It's obvious that people are coming after me. Like, I've had my name wrote down a couple times now. Some people have called me the leader of the group. And just comments like that, and just how people move around the room. It's pretty obvious when you come in a room and the conversation is just dead. Or if you're just like in a room by yourself and you see people floating around and nobody comes by, makes it pretty obvious that I'm one of the bigger targets. So just gotta play my game and just let people make their mistakes. Just they have to make the right moves too. So just gotta make sure I play it properly, and that's all it is.
Chantal, do you feel like you've talked to everybody tonight?
No, I feel like there's not enough time for me to talk to everybody.
Is time the issue?
Yes, definitely. There's never enough time. Like, you gotta make a decision within the time limits you have, even though you don't have enough time to talk to everybody, which sucks because I wish I could talk to everybody. There's sometimes conversations just go on longer than others, and like you don't want to stop people mid-conversation to jump out to talk to somebody else, so it just gets hard.
So it's like the Jerry Maguire situation when he's on the phone with one client while they're calling everybody else's client, all the other clients. It's a Jerry Maguire reference because that looks like that was dead on everybody. All right. Garrett,
I got you.
Thank you. Garrett, what's tonight's vote about?
And we've said it before in a couple of our crossroads, but it's absolutely about setting up the future. This is a very defining vote. This is where you can lock up a 6 or a 7, and this can really set the tone for at least the next few crossroads. So you really got to watch out on what you're going to do, which does give power to the people that have played very good games in the middle, because they get the kind of the choice of who they actually want to play this game with. And so this is a very important vote, and it's all up to who you want to work with down the road.
Does anybody want to admit that they feel safe tonight? I was waiting for Ryan to raise his hand. You won exemption tonight. How important was it for you to win exemption?
I'm always in it to win, and tonight I wasn't expecting the rendezvous, so I was really practicing hard for my party tonight, but it just happened that there was a rendezvous, and I'm honestly happy. I'll take it. Why not? It's something that will benefit me, and I really appreciate not having that stress on my shoulders tonight.
Also, Docs, can I just say, you can feel comfortable for a second, but this game changes every single day. One day you could be on top and running things on a tribe, the next day you could be swapped and be on the bottom. Now we're at rendezvous, like this is a whole new part of the game. Everybody has to readjust everything because every day we're getting new information. So you can feel comfortable, but if you feel safe in this game, you're probably the one that's going home next. No one should ever be comfortable.
Yeah, to Jared's point, it's a definite bittersweet feeling because yes, you are safe for this one night, but then you're going to be thrown into the chaos again tomorrow. So it's like going on vacation for a second.
Just 1 second. All right. Before we go to vote, did anybody feel like they were iced out tonight? So everybody feels like they had a chance. That's good to know. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add before we do go to vote? Gabe.
I just miss all the people who got voted out already, so I hope they're doing okay.
I appreciate that, Gabe. All right, so before we go to vote, Ryan does have individual exemption tonight. I just need to confirm with you. Are you keeping it?
Yes.
Okay, so Ryan is keeping individual exemption, so you cannot vote for him. Turn off your cameras, turn off your mics, and we will go to vote. Have the votes. If anybody has a hidden advantage that you'd like to play, now's the time to do so. Okay, I'm going to read the votes. Our first vote is for Rob. Our second vote is for Rob. That's 2 votes, Rob. Our third vote is for Rob. That's 3 votes, Rob. Our fourth vote is for Gabe. Our fifth vote is for Gabe. That's 3 votes, Rob, 2 votes, Gabe. Our sixth vote is for Gabe. That's 3 votes, Rob, 3 votes, Gabe. Our seventh vote is for Rob. Our eighth vote is for Gabe. That's 4 votes, Rob, 4 votes, Gabe.
Cheers, Rob.
Our ninth vote is for Rob. Our 10th vote is for Gabe. That's 5 votes, Rob, 5 votes, Gabe, 1 vote left.
Can we get a drum roll?
Our last vote and our first member of the jury is Gabe. Gabe, do you have anything you'd like to say to the party?
It was intense. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing with you guys. And thanks again to all the people who put this together. GG, guys.
My Gabe, love you, bro.
Love you, Gabe.
You too.
Wow. With that, Gabe becomes the first member of the jury who will eventually decide the winner of the game. 6-5 vote, Shane.
It really came down to original party lines tonight. Like it didn't necessarily seem like that was going to be the case, but in the end, that's what they did.
The two people who we thought were in the middle, I mean, I think we were right, as Justin picked one side, Ryan picks the other side, and Gabe, unfortunately, takes the brunt. Yeah, it's really setting us up now for a wild rendezvous. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of fallout from this vote. I mean, I know that the former Team Janet thought that they had Ryan on their side. They may not even know who voted for who. We might see some lies come out of this. No advantages played, despite a bunch being in play, which I thought was a little surprising. And that
I think Ryan's heirloom might have come up, but he had exemption. It would have been interesting to see if he wanted to make a play and give up exemption, but he did not tonight.
Now he carries that and can use it at the final 7, so we should look out for that. That's the only time that he's able to use it, and he's only able to use it on himself, which is why Shane suggested maybe giving up the exemption as opposed to giving up the heirloom, which you can't do unless you go out of the game. So, regardless, day 8 is set up to be a wild one.
So I'm really confused because I expected like 7 Unity.
No, yeah, same here. I mean, you're confused.
Yes, because
I was like, why is my name written down so many times?
I know, and I feel this puts me as a target now because I don't know. It doesn't make sense for me to flip now because obviously I'm the one who is most outside. So I feel like someone is trying to frame me as the one who voted for you tonight. But I did write Gabe down because it doesn't make sense for me to vote for someone who said that they'll take me to the final 3. So I'm like trying to figure out.
I mean, like, you could have just not believed me, which in this game, you can not believe anyone. But, like, I was being genuine, and I don't think that you flipped and voted on me. I don't know whether it's a Jared or a Justin, or if it was a steal a vote that was secretly played. In my eyes, in my perspective, like, your loyalty is still strong to me. At least I'm putting faith in you, and so I hope it pays off. If it doesn't, then that's on me.
My vote today is in hopes to break up the Great Wall of China. I pray to God that it doesn't come and backfire on me.
This game is so nerve-wracking.
You gotta take out the 4 of you guys, so no hard feelings.
Well, it seems like it's a possibility that I might be going home today, but fingers crossed. I feel like sometimes luck always goes my way, and I just have to hope it goes really my way, and it goes not Rob's way. So, fingers crossed.
Voting Rob.
I'm really sorry to do this. You really helped me at the swap, but we just think you don't have it. Really sorry. And I hope we can hang after this.
Voting for Gabe. Really didn't want to do that tonight, but I'm trying to play the middle right now, and that's who they wanted, and I'm just hoping they don't end up flipping this onto me. So, sorry, Gabe.
Tonight I'm voting out Gabe. I'm hoping my party is with me on this one and there's no surprise compasses being played, because this time I do not have one.
My vote tonight is for Gabe. Kind of sucks. I wish I had more time to get to know him because he seems like a really great guy, but it's got to do what the Alliance is doing. So, for Gabe.
I don't really want to vote you out, but this is a paranoid move in order to try and avoid a compass play tonight. I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Rob. You're a really cool guy, but it makes sense. The 4 of you have been tight-knit and will continue to be tight-knit to the very end. I've always been left on the outside, and there's no way that I'll ever be perceived as an equal.
do you feel like the original party lines have finally gone away? Or should I just expect a lot of the same that we've seen at each crossroads up till now?
Sorry, was that question for me? My audio.
It was a question for Rob. Does Rob need me to repeat the question?
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was a question for me. I didn't hear my name there.
So just a show of hands, if I don't say your name, do you guys tune me out? Garrett, I know for sure. Rob is confirming as well. All right.
No, I try not to, Docs, but sometimes these crossroads can go a little long and my brain wanders.
Okay. That's not the question I asked you officially.